You bought a car. Not your first. Probably your third or fourth. You know the process by now. The test drive. The negotiation that felt like a win. The monthly payment that felt manageable. The drive home in something that still smelled like possibility. You have owned cars your entire adult life. You will own cars for the rest of it. And at no point, not once, in any dealership, in any financing office, in any conversation about whether to buy or lease or trade in, did anyone sit you down and show you the number, not the monthly payment, not the sticker price, not the interest rate, the number, the complete, honest, fully loaded cost of owning a car in America across a lifetime of driving. The number that includes everything the dealership does not mention. The insurance that compounds every year. The fuel that never stops. The maintenance that arrives without warning. The depreciation that begins the moment you leave the lot. The parking and the tolls and the tickets and the registration fees and the taxes. All of it. Added up. Across 40 years of driving. And then, the other number. What that money would have become if it went somewhere else instead. Nobody showed you that number either. Until now. The purchase price. Nobody calculates correctly. You're 22. You buy your first real car. Not the one your parents helped you with. Yours. Your money. Your decision. Your payment. The average price of a new car in America in 2024 is $48,247. You are 22. You do not buy the average new car. You buy something more reasonable. A 2024 Toyota Corolla. $23,000. Sensible. Practical. The responsible choice. You finance it over 60 months at 7% interest. A reasonable rate for a 22-year-old with a limited credit history. Your monthly payment, $455. Over 60 months, you will pay $27,300 total. The car cost $23,000. You paid $4,300 in interest for the privilege of driving it before you could afford it. You trade it in at 5 years. The Corolla is worth approximately $10,000 at trade-in. You paid $27,300 for a car you sold for $10,000. The real cost of the first car, $17,300 in 5 years. Not $23,000. Not $27,300. $17,300 in real cost after the trade-in value. You do this again. And again. Every 5 years. A new car. A new payment. A new depreciation cycle. Across a 40-year driving life, from 22 to 62, you will own approximately 8 cars. The purchase and depreciation cost across 8 vehicles, adjusted for inflation, is approximately $180,000 to $220,000, depending on the vehicles chosen. $180,000 to $220,000 in purchase and depreciation alone, before a single dollar of insurance, before a single gallon of fuel, before a single oil change, and the number has not started yet. The insurance that never stops. The insurance bill arrives before the car does. You cannot legally drive without it. You cannot finance without it. It is not optional, and it is not cheap. And it compounds quietly every year in ways that most people never fully calculate. The average American pays approximately $2,150 per year in car insurance in 2024. This varies significantly by state. Michigan averages over $4,000. Maine averages under $1,000. But the national average is $2,150. At 22 with a new car and a clean driving record, you will pay more than the average. Approximately $2,800 per year in the early years. Over a 40-year driving life, paying an inflation-adjusted average of $2,500 per year, you will pay approximately $100,000 in car insurance. $100,000 paid to an insurance company over 40 years. For most of that $100,000, you will receive nothing in return. Not because insurance is a scam. It is not. Because insurance is designed for the catastrophic event that statistically will not happen to most people most of the time. The probability-weighted value of what you receive from car insurance is significantly lower than what you pay into it. That is how insurance works. That is how it is supposed to work. But the $100,000 is real. It is gone. It will not compound. It will not grow. It will not be there at 62 when you are calculating whether you can retire. The monthly payment for the car was $455. The insurance added $233 per month on top of that. The car cost $688 per month before you turned the key. The fuel that fills the hole. Every week, you pull into a gas station on a Tuesday morning. You fill the tank. $60, $70, $80, depending on the week and the market and the particular politics of oil prices that you have no control over and limited understanding of. You will do this approximately 50 times per year, every year, for 40 years. The average American spends approximately $3,000 per year on gasoline. Over 40 years, at an inflation-adjusted average of $2,800 per year, approximately $112,000 in fuel costs across a driving lifetime. $112,000 spent on a substance that burns completely and leaves nothing behind. Nothing to show for it. Nothing to trade in. Nothing to sell. The money went into a tank and came out as movement and exhaust. The electric vehicle changes this calculation partially. At current electricity rates and average driving distances, an EV owner spends approximately $700 to $1,000 per year on fuel equivalent costs. The savings are real. But the EV premium at purchase, typically $8,000 to $15,000 more than an equivalent gasoline vehicle, absorbs a significant portion of those fuel savings over the first several years of ownership. The fuel cost of car ownership is the most psychologically invisible large expense in the American household budget. It arrives in small amounts, $60 here, $70 there, and is processed as a routine transaction rather than an investment or savings decision. Over 40 years, the routine transaction is $112,000. The maintenance nobody budgets. For the check engine light comes on. You ignore it for 2 weeks because you cannot deal with it right now. Then the car starts making a sound. You take it in. The mechanic calls you at 2 p.m. on a Thursday and gives you a number you were not expecting. This happens. Every car owner knows this happens. And yet, almost nobody budgets for it accurately. LA estimates the average cost of car maintenance and repairs at approximately $1,200 per year for a typical sedan in good condition. This includes oil changes, tire rotations, brake replacements, battery replacements, and the inevitable unexpected repairs that arrive without warning. It does not include major repairs. A transmission replacement at $3,000 to $5,000, an engine issue at $4,000 to $8,000, a catalytic converter at $2,000 to $3,000. These arrive less frequently, but devastatingly when they do. Over 40 years, at an inflation-adjusted average of $1,400 per year, including the periodic major repairs amortized across the full ownership period, approximately $56,000 in maintenance and repair costs, $56,000 that arrived in pieces, never at a convenient time, never from a category you had budgeted correctly. The maintenance cost is the most emotionally painful category because it feels like bad luck. It is not bad luck. It is physics. Metal and rubber and oil and heat, cycling for 150,000 miles across 8 years, produces a predictable amount of wear that requires a predictable amount of money. The surprise is not that the repair was needed. The surprise is that you were not expecting it. The hidden costs. Nobody adds up. You park the car. every day. In a city, in a garage, in a lot, on a metered street, in a structure that costs $25 per day when you visit downtown, in an airport lot that charges $30 per day while you were traveling. The average American spends approximately $1,000 to $2,000 per year on parking depending on where they live. Over a 40-year driving life, $40,000 to $80,000. You pay registration fees every year. Average across all states, approximately $200. Over 40 years, $8,000. You pay tolls. If you live in a toll-heavy state, New York, New Jersey, Illinois, Florida, Pennsylvania, you pay significantly more. National average, approximately $300 per year. Over 40 years, $12,000. You pay traffic fines. Nobody admits to paying traffic fines, but the data is consistent. The average American driver pays approximately $150 per year in traffic fines across their driving life. Over 40 years, $6,000. You pay taxes and fees at purchase, sales tax, documentation fees, dealer fees, approximately $2,000 per car across 8 cars over a lifetime, $16,000. These hidden costs, parking, registration, tolls, fines, purchase taxes, add up to approximately $82,000 to $122,000 across a driving lifetime. Not dramatic individually, devastating in aggregate. The full number, you're 62, you're doing what most people your age are doing, calculating, looking at the retirement account, wondering if the number is enough, wondering what went wrong with the savings rate, wondering where the money went. Let me show you where the money went. Purchase price and depreciation across 8 vehicles, $200,000. Insurance across 40 years, $100,000. Fuel across 40 years, $112,000. Maintenance and repairs across 40 years, $56,000. Hidden costs, parking, registration, tolls, fines, taxes, $100,000. Total lifetime cost of car ownership, approximately $568,000. You spent $568,000 on cars, not in one moment, not in one visible transaction. In 40 years of monthly payments, weekly fill-ups, annual insurance renewals, quarterly maintenance visits, and daily parking fees so small they never registered as significant. $568,000. Now the other number. The average American gets their driver's license at 17 and owns their first car at approximately 22. If instead of buying a car at 22, they had invested the full annual cost of car ownership, approximately $14,200 per year, into an S&P 500 index fund, and earned the historical average real return of 7%. At 62, that investment would be worth approximately $3,800,000. $3.8 million. Not because they earned more, because they redirected what they were already spending on transportation into a compounding investment instead. This is not realistic for most Americans. Cars are not optional in most of the country. The infrastructure was built for them. The jobs require them. The geography demands them. But the number is real. And the number tells you something important about why car ownership decisions matter more financially than almost any other consumer choice you make. What you can actually do. You cannot not own a car. Not in most of America. Not with your job and your commute and your city and your life. But you can own a different kind of car. The difference between the average American car ownership cost and the optimized version is not sacrifice. It is decision-making. Decision 1. Buy used instead of new. A car loses approximately 20% of its value in the first year of ownership. Buy a 1-year-old car and let someone else absorb that depreciation. On a $30,000 car, the first-year depreciation is approximately $6,000. Over 8 cars across a lifetime. $48,000 saved by buying 1-year-old. Decision 2. Hold the car longer. The average American replaces their car every 6 years. Every replacement triggers transaction costs, sales tax, documentation fees, the depreciation reset. Holding a car for 10 years instead of 6 eliminates 2 full replacement cycles across a driving life. Savings, approximately $30,000 to $50,000. Decision 3. Shop insurance annually. Insurance companies do not reward loyalty. They reward new customers. Shopping your insurance every 12 months consistently produces savings of $400 to $800 per year. Over 40 years, $16,000 to $32,000. Decision 4. Maintain consistently. The $80 oil change prevents the $4,000 engine repair. The $300 annual maintenance bill prevents the $3,000 surprise repair. Consistent maintenance is not a cost. It is the cheapest form of insurance you can buy for a vehicle. Decision 5. Location matters. Living within cycling or walking distance of work, even part of the time, reduces fuel costs, insurance costs from lower mileage, and maintenance costs from reduced wear. The housing premium of a walkable location is frequently offset by the transportation savings. None of these decisions are dramatic. None of them require extraordinary sacrifice. Together, they reduce the lifetime cost of car ownership from $568,000 to approximately $350,000 to $400,000. A $170,000 difference from 5 ordinary decisions made consistently over a driving life. $170,000 that could go somewhere else instead. You bought a car. You will buy another one, and another one after that. The car is not optional. The infrastructure of American life was designed around it before you were born, and it will be designed around it after you are gone. But now you know the number. $568,000 across a lifetime. In payments small enough to never feel catastrophic and consistent enough to never stop. The number is not a sentence. It is not a reason to feel regret about every car you ever bought. It is information. Information that changes how you choose the next one, how long you hold it, how you insure it, how you maintain it, whether the upgrade is actually worth the additional depreciation cost, or whether it is the same performance anxiety that drove the restaurant photo and the leased car, and all the other performances that consumed the income without building the wealth. The car is a tool, the most expensive tool in most American households. And like every tool, its cost should be proportional to the work it does, not to what it says about you in the parking lot, not to how it feels when you drive it off the lot, not to the 43 likes the photo of it got on a Saturday morning, just to the work it does. The $568,000 cannot come back. But the next decision can go somewhere different.